Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the start of their Sunday. Well, it's Stack Pack Sunday, folks, and that means that we've got a new SBS drop. But before we get into the contents of this week's Stack Packs, we've got to tend to our one and only entrant from this week's Fractional Friday SBS drop. And if you'll recall, the prize pool from this week's Fractional Friday SBS drop included some nice Geiger fractional products as well as some fractional Libertons. And so let's go ahead and take the help of our infamous SBS pillowcase and get straight to the drawing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, in true SBS fashion, give these a nice shuffle just so we are keeping things very, very fair to our entrant. And I'm not sure which of these Libertons or Geiger fractional pieces that they're gunning for, but I do hope that whichever one is drawn, they're going to be happy with the outcome. Who knows, maybe they are someone who is just trying to stack their very first Geiger pieces, and so maybe the Geiger stack pack is the one that they're gunning for. Who knows, maybe they're gunning for one of the fractional Libertons because they don't have any fractional Libertons, or maybe they are an avid fractional Libertad collector and they've already got, let's say, the 10th ounce and the half ounce, but they're really needing a quarter ounce for their collection. Who knows? Regardless of the fact, I hope that they're going to be happy with the outcome, and so let's get straight ahead to the drawing. I'm going to put these stack packs inside the pillowcase, give this a nice zip up, and give a nice extra shuffle. And let's go ahead and unzip our pillowcase, and now we're going to go ahead and go in for a swift grab. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab my two lucky fingertips, and whatever the first stack pack is that these fingertips can quickly grab, and that's going to be the one that our entrant goes home with. So let's go ahead and see which one it is. It is, wow, it is the 10th ounce fractional Libertad. Wow, it didn't happen to be the most weightiest, but it was a nice one indeed. So I hope our entrant is happy with the outcome. I know it's not the weightiest, I know it's perhaps not the most valuable, but these fractional Libertads do carry a hefty premium there on the secondary market, and these slim stackers are, hey, they're fun. They're a fun little piece of silver. So I hope you knew what you were getting into, and I hope you're happy with the outcome, and I hope you enjoy your fractional 10th ounce Libertad and silver bar stacker, slim stacker. And thank you for participating. Now we are going to keep running the Fractional Friday drop until it does sell out, and so we introduce a new Fractional Friday drop every Friday, but that doesn't mean that we have to stop the drop just because we introduced a new drop. We can sometimes have two drops concurrently running, and so if you are interested in still gunning for another chance at a fractional Libertad, either a half ounce, quarter, or a quarter ounce, or potentially a nice selection of Generation 1 and current generation Geiger 1 gram bars, go for it. The drop is still live. There's 3 slots available at the time of recording, and hey, try your luck if you're interested. Thank you to our one and only entrant who participated for the first week since the drop, and let's go ahead and introduce this week's stack packs for the SBS Sunday drop. Alrighty. So now what we got here is we've got a nice selection. Actually, I decided I'm going to do 5 stack packs. I know I said I'm going to limit it to 4, but I thought let's just toss an extra one in there for good measure, because this week has been a little bit of a slow week. I think it's been a slow stacking week for stackers, and so we only sold 1 slot out of the TD Tuesday and the Fractional Friday drop, so I'm trying to add an extra one in there just in case there's a little bit of extra people waiting around for the Sunday drop. I know the Sunday drops are the ones that are most popular because we always have vintage in pretty much every single stack pack, so these are kind of the fun ones, and the ones that if people are kind of waiting for one of the 3, then they kind of gun for this one. So I thought let's just add an extra slot in there just in case, on the off chance that this one ends up being popular. So this is going to be a $45 drop. Let's go ahead and take a look at the contents and see what we got here. This, in my opinion, is one of the grand prizes. is. This is going to be a portrait style Engelhard bar. That E is centered in the logo. There's a lot of different variations of these E logo bars, but this one right here in particular is a 400,000 minted bar. It's got the Engelhard horizontal logo there stamped on the back. And this right here is an Engelhard Prospector 75,000 minted as opposed to 400,000 minted. This is a 75,000 minted 1984 Prospector with the American Eagle reverse there, the Silver Eagle reverse there. This is the first year out of the Prospectors. This is the first year that the Silver Eagle was produced. And now you guys and gals may or may not know, but I think a majority of you know that the first year American Silver Eagle was produced in 1986, and 1987 is right around when they stopped producing the Engelhard Prospectors, and they kind of went out of business, started going out of business. And so, hey, was it because they introduced the American Silver Eagle where they started minting millions and millions of those, and they couldn't keep up with the competition because they were only minting like 75k of these per year? Yeah, that's potentially a huge part of why they went out of business, as well as what was happening at that time. Primarily what was happening at that time. So I'm not going to get too much into the history, but this is a very, very historically significant round in my opinion, and the Prospector rounds are one of my favorite, but I would say the Prospector Silver Eagle, American Silver Eagle, since that's the first year Prospector Silver Eagle, that makes me very happy. And in addition, I like the 1982 Prospector. That's probably my all-time favorite Prospector, because that's the first year Prospector. That has the E logo on the back, and this is the first year that they put the Silver Eagle on the back. And then I think, in my opinion, America bit Engelhard, and they're just like, you know what, we're going to do the Silver Eagle, and we're going to do better, and we're going to make 10 times more of them, and, you know, maybe no, you know what, we're going to do 15 times more of them, and we're going to do a proof, and instead of, 500 proofs or 250 proofs, instead of that, we're going to do a million proofs. So, yeah, what was Engelhard supposed to do? They had to close up shop. So then here for the second stack pack, we've got a Prospector round, another 1984 Silver Eagle, but this one's got a landscape variety bar here, and I believe this is a 500,000 minted bar if I'm not mistaken. So it's also got that Engelhard and the elongated octagon hallmark there on the back, that's stamped there on the back. So that's very, very cool as well. Now we've also got stack packs that contain this same portrait style bar and a little 1 gram Prospector as well. So this is one of the stack packs you may potentially win as well. And we've got another duplicate of that. We've got the landscape variety bar here with a little 1 gram novelty Prospector. These are not Engelhards, by the way, these 1 grammers. These are just little novelty 1 grammers. I like to give those out to gift out, or just to toss a little something extra inside, one of our listings, things like that. And then finally, we've got my infamous, my favorite, my beloved Engelhard Prospector 1984 Silver Eagle. And this one is the only stack pack for this week's SBS drop that actually contains a nice little slim stacker. So right now, I would say that the only possible ways for you to get your hands on an SBS slim stacker is if you happen to draw this stack pack, or if you grab one of the 3 remaining Fractional Friday stack packs, because those each have 1 SBS Slim Stacker. And then we've also got a listing for our serialized SBS Slim Stacker stack pack line. So that one's got 8 Slim Stackers in it, and I believe it's priced at $18.88. So there's only one of those stack packs available, and then once that sells out, then within 72 hours we'll get the next serialized stack pack up for Slim Stackers. So I like to gamify a little bit with these little 1 gram bars. I love the fracks, and I love I wanted to have like a non-traditional way to distribute those out to the community, rather than just doing something boring like a giveaway or selling them, or it's just more fun this way. It's a little bit more gamified. I like to gamify everything. It's more fun that way. So these are stack packs. The link to enter this week's drop is in the description, in the video description. It is 1 per household. Please make sure you read all the rules before you enter, so that you kind of understand what you're getting yourself into. And we do the drawing kind of as they come in. So if I get even 1 entrant, then I'll kind of do the drawing as soon as I can on the next video upload. And if we sell through them all, then we'll draw them all at once, you know, and then maybe the thing sells out right away. So we'll go ahead and see if you want to enter. $45 per drop entry, and at the very least, you'll go home with either a prospect or you'll go home with at least an ounce and a gram of silver. That's all I gotta say. An ounce of vintage silver and a gram of generic silver, or who knows, maybe 2 ounces of vintage silver. Ooh, those are the hefty ones. Now, one last thing I wanted to show you all was this little thing that I have here. This isn't just something that I was displaying my stack packs on, it's actually something that I came across here. And so the Bunker Hill Company they produce some of, I would say, the most highly sought after pieces. Savage Stacker is somebody who kind of led me on about them a while back, and he was saying that, man, these pieces kind of go for a crazy premium. And some of these pieces are actually starting to surface again, but again, they come at a hefty premium. Now, I started doing research then on the Bunker Hill Company on Engelhard.com, and I came to find out that they had these medallion series where they actually used, I believe, some of the silver from the Bunker Hill mine and made these little medallion sets, 1 ounce medallion sets. It's a set of 5 1-ounce rounds. Each medallion is dated either 1981 or 1982, and they each showcase a historically significant part of the history of the Bunker Hill Company. And so I found that to be very, very cool and interesting, and so I was very excited to be able to get my hands on it. So this is what it is. It comes in this kind of like blue leather bound case, which is very, very beautiful in my opinion. I really love the color of this. And you open it up and it gives you a huge history of the Bunker Hill Company. It's very, very cool, actually, very interesting. And they talk about how it kind of started with this one guy who kind of went off campsite belonging to Noah S. Kellogg, a destitute but tenacious prospector, broke its tether one night and strayed from camp. After a 3-day search, Noah found the jackass on September 4th, 1885 in Milo Gulch, above what is now the town of Warner, standing on the glistening outcrop of the Bunker Hill Lode. Named after the famous Revolutionary War battle, the mine now consists of over 150 miles of tunnels and drifts extending from 3,600 feet above sea level to 2,000 feet below, and has produced over 35 million tons of lead, zinc, silver ore in its 95 years of continuous operation. So this is kind of like a commemorative medallion series that was produced right in 1981, and it contains 5 medallions. And so that you know how I was saying no on the jackass, that's what's featured on the first medallion. And so these are each numbered BH1, BH2, BH3, BH4, BH5, and they each showcase something different. And then they talk about, the Kellogg, Noah Kellogg on the jackass. That's the story I was just talking about. That's what's featured here on this round. And then the same thing goes for the Kellogg Tunnel. They talk about the Kellogg Tunnel. They talk about the lead smelter. They talk about the electrolytic zinc plant. They talk about the electrolytic silver refinery. It's very, very cool. And this is something that, the Bunker Hill poured pieces, those are ridiculous. Like, they're ridiculously elusive. Possibly one of the most highly sought after, pieces that you could obtain. And so this is a very, very cool thing because it's providing some context as to why that was such a big deal, right? So there's a lot of history behind it, and I'm just super excited to have been able to pick this up. Now you look at the back here, and it's got the Bunker Hill silver, the iconic Bunker Hill silver logo there on the back. Very, very cool. So this one right here, featuring the jackass, Warner, Idaho, Kellogg, Idaho, Bradley, Idaho, Silver King, Idaho, and once again Kellogg, Idaho. The silver mine, Kellogg, Idaho. So very, very interesting. I'm super happy to pick this up. You go onto YouTube and you look for Bunker Hill silver videos, you're probably going to just find like a video where Scully found one in his LCS for like $2 above spot, and boy, that thing is not, that little 2-ounce chunker that he found is not worth $2 above spot. That's all I've got to say. So I'm very, very excited to at least be able to pick up this part of history and to be able to learn more about the Bunker Hill Company. Thank you for tuning in, and if you do happen to join into our Sunday SBS drop, I wish you the best of luck with the drawing. Cheers!